Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Karachi, and I am the Sergeant in Arms for today's meeting. I welcome you all to the 922nd meeting of Karachi Toastmasters Club. Can everybody applaud on that? Before starting the meeting, I would like to mention two ground rules since we are not having a hybrid meeting. So there are two ground rules left that needs to be mentioned. Number one, kindly mute yourself when you are not speaking. Number two, kindly turn off your video if you are stepping out of the room. As everybody in life has a mission to achieve their goals, likewise, Toastmaster Club also has a mission. And the mission of our Toastmaster Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop the most important skill that is used in life, which is communication. And the second most important skill, being a leader, which in turn fosters self-confidence as well as personal growth. So this is most important thing that we need in our life, and this platform is here to provide us. With this, I announce this meeting as open. But first, let me call upon the most important designation of our KTC expert. As you all know, he's the one who inspires everybody. He's the one everybody wants to be like him while they're speaking. Everybody wants to gain the confidence. And when things get tough, he has a calm and he's cool as ice to control the things. Sometimes he interrupts the meeting, sometimes he's not, but most of the time he is always present in the meeting. As present, one and only our president of the club, Toastmaster Talabinhan. I hand over the charge. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Sergeant at Arms, for once again opening the meeting in a great manner. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. It's amazing to have you all in the meeting. Thank you for joining us. I am the president of Karachi Toastmasters Club. I'm also the tech host for today's meeting. So pardon me because perhaps you will hear my interruptions quite a bit during the meeting. So for those who are joining us for the first time, Toastmasters is a worldwide organization headquartered in Colorado, USA. Its main purview is to enhance the communication and leadership skills of its members. It has more than 17,000 clubs around the world, and they are governed under the same set of rules and a common curriculum called Pathways. Toastmasters meetings and all of its leadership structure is governed by Toastmasters Rules of Business and Robert's Rules of Business, whereas its education portion is governed by Toastmasters Pathways. So I welcome you all to the meeting, and I see quite a few guests today. So let's start. We have Ms. Razia Anam. Would you like to introduce yourself? Madam Razia, would you like to introduce yourself? Okay, we move on. Okay, yeah. Please, if you can unmute yourself and please, if you can. Okay, sure, no worries, no worries. I hope you mean the last of this initial session, or maybe last of the meeting, as you wish. No worries. We move on to our next guest, Mr. Hassan, who I believe is a Toastmaster, if I'm not wrong. Mr. Hassan, would you kindly introduce yourself?
Mr. Hassan is Taha.
Oh, Okay, I got confused. Apologies. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Latif. Uh, though that doesn't compensate for your withdrawal of your speech slot, but again, I've been putting up with much worse, so no worries. We have Mr. Daniel, our guest. Mr. Daniel, would you like to introduce yourself?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum Assalam.
Let me introduce myself. I am Muhammad Daniel and I am an active ACCA member. Currently, I am working as an audit manager with a firm of chartered accountants. And I am here because I uh, want to enhance my communication skills and leadership skills. And this is my first session. And let's see how it goes.
Okay, wonderful. Welcome, Mr. Daniel. I hope you enjoyed the session. We
Thank you.
certainly absolutely adore guests and new members that we have in our meeting because we learn from all of them. Then we have Mr. Shahab Burnley. Mr. Shahab, I think you've been here before, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, Ms. Tala Saab, yes, I was there before. This is actually my third time attending this session. And yeah, do I need to introduce more or is it okay?
Well, as you wish,
Okay,
Because-
I'm currently working with a consulting firm and by background, I'm an engineer and I've done master's in business administration. And I've had a exposure of this Toastmasters club while I was overseas, but I couldn't at that time participate actively. I just attended one meeting there, so these types of sessions actually interested me, and I look forward to improving my communication skills and presentation skills by actively participating in it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and looking forward to have you as a member soon, Mr. Shah. If I recall, you've already spoken in table topics, and you did a wonderful job.
Correct.
So yeah, looking forward. Then we have someone who's not exactly a guest. He is a dear friend of ours from District 98, DTM Raghu. DTM Raghu, by now we know you quite well, but for the benefit of people who don't know you, could you please introduce yourself?
Good evening, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Namaste. I'm from Hyderabad, part of India, District 98. I've joined Toastmasters about 2019, and I work for Bank of America from here as a software engineer. And then I'm with the bank for last 13 years, just completed 13 years today. And then loving this program and loving this club by the frequent that I'm visiting and getting to know, especially our dear president and district director, DTM Tala. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DTM Raghu. We are honored that you join us and that you enjoy our meetings. Moving on, we have, do we have a business session today, Toastmaster Babar? Are you ready with the business session? Toastmaster Babar, are you there? Okay, never mind. I will present a short business session in lieu. I think Toastmaster Babar is facing some connectivity issues. Okay, so a short recap of our last meeting. Our last meeting was held on the eve of Eid Day. That is, it was not on our regular Wednesday, but rather on a Tuesday. It was a very well attended meeting. It was characterized by presence of guests from 3 or 4 countries, including our own DTM Raghu. And it was a joyous celebration of all things that are worth celebrating, not just Eid. So the best speaker award went to myself. Critics' Choice speaker went to Toastmaster Hinali. Best Table Topics award went to Toastmaster Hiba Raees Khan. Best Evaluator award
I think it seems like we have lost Titi and Talha.
Hello, I think I was cut off. Can anyone tell me where I was cut off?
Best table topic evaluator. Oh, sorry, best
Okay,
table
that's
topic
great.
speaker. Best table topic speaker.
Okay, great. So no, great, thank you. So okay, so best evaluator went to Toastmaster Javed Bhatti. Best Big Four award went to our debutante table topics evaluator Toastmaster Mariam Aftab Kidwai, and best facilitator award went to Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali. In other news, our XCOM met yesterday, and we took certain decisions regarding our future uh, uh, course of action with respect to Karachi Toastmasters Club. So we certainly discussed some issues regarding, and some of the issues were highlighted by valuable XCOM members, such as the need for a closer monitoring of mentoring of new members, the need for a closer follow-up of new members in order to motivate them to give speeches, the need to the need to start on time, which has been our long-standing issue. Although I believe, given how today is going, we are working to resolve that. We also took some. We also decided upon to take to upgrade the club in a very exciting manner. And of course, as per the rules, all of that will be put up before the members of the club at a suitable time. Right now, the time is not right to announce this upgrade initiative, but one thing is for sure that the new initiative is likely to solve a lot of issues that many members have with the club. It will also provide greater flexibility to members to attend meetings, and it is likely to also result in greater educational progress of our members. So it is a very good solution that has been discussed and approved by XCOM yesterday, although the minutes have not yet been finalized, but it will be informed in the near future. So with that, it is my honor and privilege to welcome one of our uh, best, one of our best and most active members. She is characterized by her uh, very assertive and bold presence, whether she's speaking or doing table topics or telling jokes. Uh, and she always contributes to her fullest, no matter what role she is doing. She has been associated with Karachi Toastmasters Club for more than 3 years, and she has served the XCOM for two different terms, very ably and very convincingly. Please put you and before I hand over the charge to her, I request everyone, please, if you can, please turn on your video. That increases the sense of belonging that we have each other. I know in online meetings, we are not in the same room with each other, but trust me, if we turn on our videos, a lot of that is fixed. So everyone, please put your hands together for our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Hiba Raees. Toastmaster Hiba, over to you.
Thank you for such a warm introduction, Niti and Talha. Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, since the past few years, global environmental issues have been on the rise, and many countries, including ours, have experienced a lot of environmental catastrophes, which have negatively affected our country and the world itself. Environmental issues not only affect homes, our homes of humans, and but also affect animals which live in the natural habitat. A major reason of the rise in environmental issue is because of the increasing production, increasing human activity, production of goods and services, which leads to the heating up of the earth. A major prime example is of Pakistan, which has been adversely affected by the monsoon rains in the past 2-3 years, which every one of us know. And these monsoon rains have not only destroyed the infrastructure of our city, but also has damaged homes, because we know that the water has come inside our homes and affected our belongings as well. So, and because of the rise in environmental issues globally and also within our country, people have started recycling a lot. By recycling, I mean using up resources which we have been consuming before. And through recycling, we save a lot of wastage. Okay. Coming to the session will be divided into 3 parts. First, we will have the prepared speech session. The second will be the table topic session, and the last will be the general evaluation. We have around 8 facilitators who will be facilitating the meeting with us. So first, I would be calling the grammarian PM Ghulam Qadir to explain his role. PM Ghulam Qadir.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. Fellow Toastmaster and guests. Today, I have got 2 roles. First one is Wordmaster, second one is Grammarian. So I'll explain both of them together. So as a Wordmaster, the word of the day is contaminate. I repeat, contaminate. So since the theme is environment, so this was the word which I chose. And let me explain, what does this word mean? It means make something impure by exposure to or addition of a poisonous or polluting substance. So I will urge all the speakers, evaluators, and the table topic speakers to use this word during the speech. My role is to note down how many times it has been spoken by the speaker, and at the end of the meeting, I'll be giving my report as to how many times it has been spoken. Second role is of grammarian. And the word of master and the grammarian in our meetings at KTC goes hands in hand. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to note down 2 things. First one is the grammatical mistakes made by the speakers. Second one is beautiful usage of grammar as well. So at the end of the meeting, I'll be giving my report. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Okay, moving on. Then we have the timer. So TM Imran Rana, could you please explain your role?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm the timer of today's meeting, and my role is to make sure that the meeting proceedings are on time. As you can see, timer screen. So all you need is to pin that timer screen. So there will be different timing for different segments. For table topics, the speaker has to speak for about 1 minute to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. At 1 minute, my screen will turn into green. This means that the speaker is qualified. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, my screen will turn into yellow. At 2 minutes, the screen will turn into red. This means that speaker has now 30 seconds and he has to wrap up his or her speech within that 30 seconds. If not, he or she will be disqualified for voting and there will be no signals for voting. For prepared speeches, we have from 5 to 7 minutes. If at 5 minutes, the screen will turn into green, at 6 minutes, yellow, and at 7 minutes, it turns into red. This means the speaker has to wrap up his or her speech, because after 30 seconds, he will be disqualified. For prepared speech evaluation, at 2 minutes, the screen will turn into green. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, the screen will turn into yellow. And at 3 minutes, the screen will turn into red. The red color means that speaker has now 30 seconds and he or she has to wrap up his or her evaluation if he or she wants to qualify for voting. So over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, TM Imran. So moving on, we have the next facilitator, which is the R counter. TM Urusa Kaval, can you please explain your role?
Yes, thank you so much, Toastmaster. Am I audible? Great. So as the R counter, there are some words that people tend to say, filler words, and some of them are okay, I know, I mean, and so, right. The repetitive words, I think, basically, and some other words. And I'll be noting down how many times people use these words in their speeches. And in the end, I will be asking you all to deposit money against all the words and all the counters to our kitty. And the most words that are being counted, the member who deposits the money will have to deposit the money. So over to you, Toastmaster.
Okay, moving on. Then we have the vote counter, who is TM Imran Rana again. So please, TM Imran, can you explain your role?
Thank you so much once again, Toastmaster Hiba. So fellow Toastmasters and guests, there will be voting for different segments. That is for prepared speeches, for table topic speeches, for best speech evaluator, best pick four, and best facilitator award. Voting for best facilitator. So what I will be doing, that I will share the Google form in Zoom chat. All you need to cast your votes for the best speaker or evaluator or big four. And if there is a tie situation, then I will cast my vote and break the tie. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, TM Imran. Moving on, we have the next facilitator, which is the listener. So TM Mohammad Azhar Khan, can you explain your role?
Yes, I am audible.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. No one can be a good speaker if he or she is not good listener. Fellow Toastmaster and guests, today I will be playing listening role. It's more like checking your listening skills. I will be noted down some interesting phrases and sentences by the speakers. And at the end, I will be calling out those sentences and phrases. You have to guess the name of speakers. The one who said it is requested to remain silent. Over to Toastmaster authority.
Last but not the least is the joke master, and I will be doing the joke master role. So fellow Toastmasters and guests, two blood cells met and fell in love. Two blood cells met and fell in love. Alas, it was in vain. The second one, what kind of jewelry does the Easter bunny wear? What kind of jewelry does the Easter bunny wear? 14-carat gold. Why were the fishes grade so bad? Why were the fishes grade so bad? It was because it was below sea level. Sorry. And last, three fish are in a tank. Three fish are in a tank. One asks the other, how do you drive this thing? Thank you. Okay, now we have the prepared speech session, and I would be calling the first prepared speaker, TM Urusa Kaval, to explain, to give her speech, and I would like to call upon TM Ghulam Qadir for the evaluation. So please, TM Ghulam Qadir, explain the objective.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. Today, our immediate past president, Toastmaster Urusa, will be giving a project from the Pathway Presentation Mastery. And this is a longer project. And just to explain the newcomers and the guests, that when we start in the Pathway session, we start with an icebreaker that is for the 4 minutes. And then as you climb into this pathway, you will be required to give a speech of 5 to 7 minutes. And then later on, you'll be required to give a speech of 10 to 12 minutes. Now, Toastmaster Urusa has reached that level where she'll be speaking for 18 to 22 minutes. So it's a kind of a keynote speech, and she has to prepare herself to speak professionally. So she is a very good speaker, let me tell everyone, and would definitely like to hear from her, and wish you best of luck, Toastmaster Urusa. Timer, please note the project is 18 to 22 minutes.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vilankaran.
And sorry, the title of the speech is The Elephant in the Room. My apologies, my bad.
Thank you so much. You are driving calmly down the road. There is any kind of traffic on both your sides, and you stop at a traffic light. Now you're waiting for that light to turn green, and then it does. Before you can put your foot on the pedal, a few boys on their motorcycles rush across in front of your car, howling, laughing loudly. Your mood changes. You curse them. What is your favorite word that you use? Let's
Hey,
steer
you.
clear of.
Don't
let's
want to
steer
repeat over
clear
here.
of-
It will
Yeah,
violate the
let's-
policy.
Let's steer clear of all the Urdu words. What's the English word that comes to your mind?
Even those are not utterable here.
Okay.
What the fish?
Oh, okay. That's one word. Any other? Take a guess. Take a wild
Bloody,
guess.
bloody, fill in the blank.
All right. Fellow Toastmasters and guests. One of the words that many people use is psychos. They say this very easily. And if you look at the dictionary meaning of the word, it literally means someone who's crazy, someone who's frightening. And the incident that I mentioned is a bit scary. Zooming in front of open traffic, laughing. But is it really a hallmark of being a real psycho? Someone who can technically be called a psychopath. At Toastmasters, we learn and hone a skill called leadership. Now, if you're secretly thinking Toastmasters become psychopaths, maybe we can do a case study to verify that. But for now, we can agree leaders are not just born, they are made, right? We do it every meeting. But there is no difference of opinion that leaders are born as well, with innate capabilities, God-given abilities. You know who else is born with God-given abilities? Abilities that are at par with leaders. Charm and charisma that can blind people to reality, an aura that can go unnoticed throughout their lives. They can look like normal people. They can be perfect leaders. Psychopaths. The one thing that all psychopaths have in common is their innate ability to be fearless, ruthless, and perfectly charismatic. Now, as difficult as it may seem to imagine, a psychopath will have no fear in his or her heart. And it will be really difficult for people around him to instill fear. No matter what modes we use, scolding, threats, punishments, psychopath does not feel fear. A trait that has destroyed entrepreneurial dreams, empires, the psychopath simply excels at showing none. And what is more peculiar is psychopathy can show signs very early on. Researchers at the University of Michigan were able to isolate these traits in kids as young as 2 years old. They followed with the same kids when they became 9 years old, and they concluded that the kids with most conduct issues were more likely to exhibit behavior issues when they grew older. They could become psychopaths. Let me bring something to light here. It's not always a negative trait. The telltale sign of psychopathy is complete disregard for others' feelings, lack of remorse. But in some professions, this can be really useful. For example, being a soldier, people need to be, feeling less. They need to protect their borders. Or a spy who needs to manipulate people. He needs to get information to move ahead. In his book, Kevin Dutton writes that functional psychopaths use their detached, unflinching, charismatic personalities to succeed in mainstream society. However, the professions that these people may be found in may come as a surprise. Psychopaths may be found in professions that are high on stress and they require a very, very cool head. One study published in the journal, the Bulletin, the Royal College of Surgeons of England showed that surgeons scored higher on the scale of psychopathy than consultants. The reason that they quoted was the fact that surgeons have to make quick and difficult decisions. So if you hear the next time that someone's going for a surgery to UK, you can just relax and smile. Psychopaths also make good salespeople, manipulating outcome of situations, shameless self-promotion, relentless desire to earn money, and sometimes an inability to be a team player. They can be excellent salespeople. Religion is another plain and new job that helps psychopaths hide their motives. Fame, alliances, access to information that would otherwise not be available. And finally, the most coveted position, the CEO, where the psychopath shines in full glory, fearless, able to do anything and everything, and full attention to accomplish a lot. Now, most of these positions, they bring a lot of responsibility. And once a psychopath is placed into them, he plays these roles very effectively, he or she. They are high achievers, they accomplish a lot, but most of it is exploitation. There is very little hard work. However, not every high achiever is a psychopath. There are some pretty legit high achievers out in the world. What differentiates a psychopath and a high achiever is their ability to manipulate a situation. What is happening differently in these people's heads that does not allow them to feel anything? Keel, a neuroscientist, scanned thousands of inmates to figure out the differences between a normal criminal brain and a psychopathic criminal brain. And he found only one striking difference. The psychopath's brain contained less gray matter and especially a very shrunk amygdala, the center that feels empathy. He also concluded that the same anomaly is also likely to be found in children who show insensitivity at a very young age, but that is pretty much inconclusive because children are still growing. So anyone with a shrunk amygdala may not be able to process emotions, and that is not a fault of their own. So for example, someone who has this anomaly and is being attacked or is attacking someone, they would never realize that the other person of themselves is feeling fear. They would never be able to process anger. They would never be able to process hatred. They are born to not feel emotion, recognize, or even recognize changing facial patterns. That's a very, very tough position to be in. Should we sympathize with psychopaths? Should we find it in our hearts to forgive them for nature's fault? Remember, at their worst, they will take lives. They have no moral compass. They will not stop. You be the judge of this for this moment. One more thing psychopaths are naturally blessed with is a very, very hyperactive reward system. Anything that delivers excitement, a high, whether it is drugs, whether it is gambling, murder, or a simple game where they can keep on winning again and again, they will keep going at it. In an experiment, some children, uncaring children, were subjected to a game that was programmed to win very early on and then start to lose. The psychopathic lot, they just played on without realizing. And the other normal lot, they got disinterested when the game took a turn for the worst. Our movies seem to glamorize the psychopaths as serial killers, murderers only. One box. And it is true. At the absolute worst, they do become famous serial killers. Some people you would never want to be near. Nielsen, a person who had killed at least 15 people, says, I wish I could stop, but I cannot. I have no other thrill, no other happiness. I do not lose sleep over what I have done, and I have no nightmares about it. He is a cool guy. Now, let me add here, psychopathy can be learned also. We are humans. We can grow immune to a certain set of negative behavior. And as a defense mechanism, we can learn to shut out feelings. But normal people usually have an emotional center, and these things can be reversed. The psychopath who has an anomaly has little hope, because this anomaly permeates the very cell structure of his being. He knows nothing, no other way of being, cannot process what he sees, and for the love of life, he cannot stop. Is there any hope for him? Two psychologists, they got together and they opened a facility in Wisconsin, USA. They decided that they wanted to discipline the worst juvenile criminals. They worked on offenders who checked maximum psychopathic traits on a scale of 40. Now, these people checked above 35 on that scale of 40, and all of them were teenage boys between the age of 12 to 17. Now, many of these kids had horrific stories, and together, that group really found home with each other. And because of that homely feeling, that bonding, they weren't easy to take. They enjoyed being nasty. Some came from very good families, but others were pure evil. They had their own way of dealing with the staff. They went on being horrible until they started tiring out. They started giving in and started accepting treatment. Many of these kids started forming their first true connections within that facility. Due to their horrific pasts, these kids had never formed any connections with human beings, with other human beings. And to be fair, the attitudes that these people have doesn't afford them a lot of trust. The first meaningful friendships that they formed triggered a change. The psychologists made a breakthrough when they helped these juvenile offenders see how their innate disability could be used as a positive advantage for their future selves. The first thing that these psychologists did, they downplayed punishment, and they started taking advantage of their high-powered reward system in the brains. These doctors devised a working, legit model of the world that boys could fit themselves into. And they gamified all of it. The boys took to most of them and enjoyed being in it. They created various prestige clubs, the entry to which was based on behavior. Now, each club had privileges. And as the boys started ascending it, they started earning more things, like staying up late, getting to play Xbox. This technique also taught the boys how to defer gratification. That facility had an overwhelming success with taming these boys. The youth that graduated from the facility was 6 times less likely to reoffend, and only 1 in 5 of them was involved in violence. The facility helped the boys to stay on the good side of life. If not the best lives, these people did get to lead better lives. So, are psychopaths dangerous, or they tend to grow dangerous with time and no supervision? As empathic people, you may be haunted for days after listening to their true feelings. These people don't hide anything when they show their true selves. The need, I believe, for us is people with empathy, all of us, is to realize that these people do exist among us. And they do not need to be shut down because they say weird things like, I want to choke people, or I want to exploit people. They say it with a smile. They say it with a straight face. They is who they are. They are born that way. Even the best medication on this earth will not change their brain setup. Just make everyone else miserable. They live with us, among us. Only disapproval just shuts them off temporarily. And it makes them a ticking time bomb. When the time is right, someone or something usually takes them off. And they go off. They do their thing. We aren't short on stories in our region about these people. A few days back, we can look and we can find such people. We can also find motives. Let's hope we can find treatments for these people rather than judgments. They need help, I believe. And the sooner, the better. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Toastmaster today, can we have a namaz break? Or after a speech, one speech?
We can have one more speech. Then after that, we can go for namaz break. Toastmaster Hiba, are you with us?
Sorry. Next speaker is sorry, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I was busy somewhere. Okay, next speaker is DTM Rahu, and I would call upon his evaluator, DTM Talha bin Hamid, to present the speech objectives.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. Today, we are honored to witness DTM Raghu from Hyderabad, India, deliver his DTM project, part 1. For those who are not aware, the DTM project is a project that is performed as part of the DTM certification.
I'm sorry to interrupt. It will be speech 2. DTM speech B.
Okay. No worries. Just give me a second to recheck. And okay, so Toastmaster Raghu will be delivering DTM project part 2, and he will be so the DTM project is actually the project that is performed after completing 2 pathways, and it is sort of a capstone to one's DTM's journey. So first speech of the project is delivered after, during the planning stages of the DTM assignment. And the second speech is delivered usually when the assignment is completed. The purpose of this project is for the member to demonstrate his or her skills as a leader and a public speaker. And the purpose of the second speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her experience completing the project. What is the project, you ask? The project is, of course, the project will be expanded upon by DTM Raghu himself. But in general, any Toastmaster is required to perform a project, whether within Toastmasters or outside Toastmasters, while deploying a team. So the duration of the project is 8 to 10 minutes. And DTM Raghu, the floor is yours. Everyone, please put your hands together for DTM Raghu.
Before I start, can I get access to share?
Yeah, sure. Just give me a second. Yes, now you can.
Let me know if you're able to see my screen. Able to see?
Yes.
Good, thank you. There's a famous shloka from Sanskrit. Ayam nija paroveti kanuna laguchetasam. Udara charitanam tu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. We're all one family under one sky. Every religion talks about it, isn't it? But do we really experience in the real world? We fight over caste, we fight over religion, we fight over our political status and everything. But if there is one place I have really felt this one feeling of being one, a oneness, or of being a part of family, is Toastmasters. If you look at reality, there's a lot of political issues between Pakistan and India. But every time that we visit each other, don't we feel like one family, keeping aside everything else? That is what I felt in Toastmasters. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster, my dear guest. Just like the butterfly, which affects one place to other. Just like the butterfly effects that we have in our life, my DTM project has been decided for my second DTM. This time I was feeling like I should do something impactful, something in different walks of life. And even my mentors who were tough on me and on all my paths and projects wanted me to do something better than what I did in the last. While talking about it, I got a call one fine day from a person from Mumbai. They were trying to charter Toastmasters for Mumbai entrepreneurs for very long, from August 2020 till May 2021. Very long time. They called me and they asked for my help because I chartered one club, Toastmasters for Hyderabad entrepreneurs, within a record time of 30 days. When they approached, I said instantly, okay, and then I said I will select it as one of my DTM project. When I went through what they have done all those 10 months, I saw considerably there's a lot of less work. Charger. Then I worked with them. First thing we did was to make the club a global club, Toastmaster for entrepreneurs. Second thing was to work on one speechcraft program, or you can say a workshop on for 5 weeks, working with a team of 10 people. We started propagating on our Facebook page for this club. We got 120 entries just within a week for this program. We gave it a free program, and then we had highly qualified mentors from 4 different districts. And then end of day, after 120 entries, we said, okay, we will categorize them and select only 40 entries. After 40, we started with the program. It was 5 weeks, every Tuesday. It was 8 to 10 p.m. Indian Standard Time. When we gave this program, I was communicating with my team of 10 people. My project guide, Ditya, Smita, same time communicating with each and every person how they were feeling about the project, whether they could see that this public speaking can really help them, if they see that this Toastmaster program can help them become what they want to achieve in their life. While there were certainly some side effects, some people who take advantage of what's coming free, some people who just rebuke what we are giving for free because they don't see the value there, but others who took it in a better way, in a positive way, that has helped. So initially I had a goals to charter the club by June 30, 2021, and at least help 10 people to complete their icebreaker and steer the club in the direction of entrepreneur council, that entrepreneur clubs that we have in India. The whole goal was to be achieved by August 31. But guess what? We started the program on the May last week, and we were able to charter the club by just June 15th. The charter documentation was applied. And then, as they say, that when you want everything out of your heart, when you wish for something out of your pure heart, even entire nature, entire universe conspires for it to become true. So did ours, because unlike any other club documentation, our club documentation was approved within 2 days, and June 17th, the club was chartered. But then my heart, and so does my mentors, it doesn't get fulfilled by just one achievement. One fine day, my nephew from US called me up. We were discussing. Then he asked me, Mama, do you think that God is a concept? Do you think God is just something that we see in books or just believe, but doesn't exist? That made me think, where is the generation going? Are we steering them in the worst part where they don't even understand the basics of a religion, let it be any religion? That made me to go to another project, Youth Leadership Program. This was necessary, that I thought that these kids from youth needed two things: public speaking. Second thing is also understand the basics of any religion, the concept that he's calling the God, or the one that they think that it doesn't exist, just a fiction. He should understand, or they should, he, she, whatever it is. And then I started with the youth leadership program for 5 weeks, again free. Then I had 2 team members, Toastmaster Kalpana and Toastmaster Niyamat, from 2 different places. Smita again being my guidance team. This was to first recruiting the members, had to talk with the parents, explain them what is there, what to expect in the program. Then we had 10 people, 10 students in the program to start with. Then coordinating with my team, especially for them to what to expect, what to talk with the students, and what to tell the youth, literally designing complete program. Because this is something that I'm doing for the sake for people to understand, for the kid, for the next who are going to next generation citizens of India, to understand all the basics of everything, not just public speaking, even the religion, even the morals that we should have. And we did complete by July 19th. And this you can see the students and the kids of different arena, different age group of 10 to 16 age, who did very well. The happy faces always elates my face, because the youth or the kids are our future generation. But then I would call it just an inception, because again, I'm not happy with what is there. I started a communication workshop in my office, and we completed 2 weeks on that. Then again, we have to work on 3 more weeks. So how does it help? It helps people to communicate very well, whether it is spoken or written communication, or the way that they do the project deliverables, and then able to communicate with the clients, etc. But at the end of the day, what I would say for Toastmasters is, do not limit yourself within the realms. Just like a falcon, spread your wings and go to every arena and do what you can. Help everybody come out of those bindings of all things and just don't think this is mine. And don't look at the benefits of what you are doing. As a DTM and as growing up in my second project, what I understood is just to give, because we are a family under one sky. Just like Ruth Pelam said, we are a family under one sky. We are people, we are animals, we are flowers, we are birds in flight, because we are all a family under the sky. As Toastmasters and as a fellow Toastmasters, I just want to say, when you want to do a project, do not think just to complete the project in your manuals or in your just the portal, because that doesn't help anybody. Think beyond. As I said, just grow your wings, try to do as much as you can, because this will help you improve your communication skills, your leadership skills, and the people there. Because end of day, we are one family, aren't we, Toastmaster?
Thank you, TM Raghu, for such a lovely speech. Moving on.
Toastmaster Hiba, we are now having a 10 minutes break.
Okay, fine. Take 10 minutes break. After that, we'll reconvene. Okay.
Toastmaster Hiba, we can start now.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I would now call upon the next speaker. That is TM.
There is a little change. Toastmaster Raksha Kumari, she is not available. So you may move to the next speaker.
Okay. So TM Muhammad Azhar Khan, you will be giving your present speech, and I would call upon his evaluator TM Ali Hasnain Babar. TM Ali Hasnain Babar to give the speech, to tell the audience about the speech objectives. TM Ali Hasnain, are you there?
Thank you, Toastmaster Hiba. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you once again. I'll be evaluating the speech given by Toastmaster Azhar, and the speech title is Halfway Through What I Have Learned. Halfway through what I have learned. And regarding the purpose of the project, the purpose of the project is for the member to reflect on his or her growth during the completion of an entire path. And the second purpose is for the member to share some aspect of his or her growth during the completion of the path. So TM Azhar will be delivering the speech. Time duration is 10 to 12 minutes. And all the best, Toastmaster Azhar. Over to you. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Toastmaster today, I'm audible. Thanks. Thank you, Toastmasters. You evaluate me and you give me a chance to my presentation. Today, I'm sharing my project, Presentation Mastery Level 5. It's not 10 to 12 minutes. It's my last whole year's practice. Many times I did blended. Many times I fall. Many times I have seen many worse situations. But at the same time, when I thought, I was thinking, yeah, should I give up, not get up? and go back. No, yeah, I can't do this. But someone silently said in my ear, Azhar, you can do this. I know that I'm not a good speaker, but I'm trying to be a good speaker. My seniors, many people, including my mentor, all my team members push me. They always said me, no, you can do this. So today I'm sharing my one presentation. Let me know if anyone, let me know if you see my screen. I have shared. It's visible.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm sharing full preview. Okay. One by one, I'm sharing my pathway stages from level 1 to level 5. And every moment, every slides is showing what I did my past. So let's start. Presentation mastery, path completion, reflection on your pathway. This path, at the time, right now, I'm sharing my previous all everything. Today, I'm sharing this slide. First word, icebreaker. Many people, maybe you are smiling, I know that. Maybe many people are sitting here when I joined Toastmaster and I start icebreaker. I spoke like electricity, without any break, without any pauses, without any spaces, without any conclusion, without any each and everything. I just start and no one said as that you should calm down, relax. No, I start and within 2 and 3 minutes I spoke everything. But I remember few guys told me, no, keep it up. You did very well. Second, my project evaluation feedback, whether I learned many things, I explore new elements, new speaking powers, some magical points. Before these levels, I have never seen in my life. I did not read that like this. Because I wanted to do this, but I was not on right pathway, not right track. But one by one, I read that. I learned one by one, and I learned many things. Exactly, I have no idea where I'm standing and where I'm going, but I know one thing. Yeah, I spent 7 to 8 months in that Toastmasters, and I have seen many things and many things. Third, my project research and presentation. These are first time I read introduction, body, and conclusion. I heard in my life previously because I am working in advertising marketing industry, but never applied in my practical life. In my practical, this is the first platform where I practical these elements. Second level, understand your communication. I'm still facing some hurdles and barriers in communication style, but still I'm trying and I'm learning. And at end of the meeting, my evaluator said, Azhar, you did almost good. Yeah, average. But one day I will be on number 1. I'm trying. Maybe I will see, I will give you hard time, inshallah. It's a healthy competition. It's not a jealousy. It's a healthy competition, especially of Team Latif and other my Toastmasters, GQ, other speakers. Second, effective body language. Yeah, it's a good thing. You should show your posture, gestures, your face expression, your eyes, each and everything, especially your communication, your feelings. Many times I forget pauses. I start, I never think about the pauses. It's my blender, I know that, but I'm trying. I'm using some pauses and some, I give the space between one and two sentences. So these are effective body language, your posture, stance, position, movement. It's a very necessary thing, and I memorize and I learned many things. Introduction towards Pastor Mentor is this is the first my speech where I wrote good speech. I think so, and especially Tala Saab and GQ. Many people said, "Yeah, that you wrote very well and good key points." And I describe in the some Toastmaster mentorship. Level 3, persuasive speaking. Know your audience, agreeable, hostile, uniform audience. Show your emotions to help identify with you and your message. This is a level 3 mid of this pathway. Now you have to understand, you have to do, you have to perform. Okay, now how can you deliver your project and how can you practice more and more. Second one is elective project. I have to do 2 project minimum. There are 13 options. I selected 2 because as per requirement, I have to only 2 submission. So first I select using presentation software. These are very amazing and wonderful project because at the time I showed my professional field, I showed the creative strategy, advertising, marketing. These are very easiest subject for me, but I deliver very well. I think so. Deliver social speeches. Yes, I work on that. Level 4. It's the first time in my life. Latif was performing on the Toastmasters and someone shouting and disturbed to him. But I shocked what's happening in the during meeting because never in my life before this situation I have never seen this like that. But after and I understand, okay, these are managing difficult audience and one day I will perform. After a few months, I attend managing difficult audience and many people disturbing me, but it's very task for me and I complete this project. And then second, elective project. This is a create a postcards and public relation strategies. Yes, I selected 2 because I think so. It's a good for me and I perform as per project I can deliver. So that's why I selected. Persuasive speaking. Sorry. Well, prepare to speak professionally. Yes. At the time, you have to know credible experience, expertise, strong message, connection, confidence. You have to confidence yourself. You should know about the content. You should know about the what is the introduction, was a body copy, how you conclude your speech. Because in the end, after 3 to 5 minutes, public will understand what are you delivering to them. And they will get know, okay, now what are you doing and what your conclude of speeches. 5th, selective project. There I select a moderator panel discussion. It's a huge live hybrid meeting and first time I attend in a hotel and I call to one by one my live guest and I start a question and answer and there are 3 to 4 guys. They give me the good favor and they give the chance to just we start the conversation one by one and then that was a good my level. Thank you. But in the end, I'm sharing one my poetry I downloaded from the net. Poet name is Leslie Owen. Sorry, Owen Wilson. There are many paths and they lead us as we muddle through and through. There are many routes to follow to avoid the one that's wrong. There are many destinations, different means and different ends. For the ways of life have countless twists and turns and bends. Twists and turns and bends. Let your footsteps always follow the path that's right for you. May you find the road happiness your whole the life through. Let your heart guide you as you travel every day. And may a greater spirit guide you as you journey on your way. Blessing on your journey. Life is a journey, and every moment we should enjoy this moment. We never see the tomorrow. We are seeing the present. We are seeing the today. We are seeing the right now. So every single moment we should enjoy, and we should feel happiness and spread the happiness and learn and teach other things. Thank you, Professor Protami. Over to you, Cosmos.
Moving on, I would now like to call upon the last speaker for the evening, TM Latif Mansoor Ali, to give his speech, and I would call upon his evaluator, TM Shamil Shahriyar, to give the speech objectives. So, TM Shamil, the virtual stage is yours.
Am I audible? Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today TM Latif Mansoor Ali will be giving his Level 2 Project 1 speech. The pathway for his project is motivational strategies. The purpose of his speech is to understand his communication style. The title of his speech is Denial, and his time duration is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, TM Latif, and good luck.
Once we were all called upon for a meeting, and in that meeting they were all suited, well dressed, formal, but discussion was to attend a mega event. And now you all know, when there is a mega event, we all are concerned about how this event will go, the budget, the scenarios, the obstacles might be having, and how to call upon some valuable guest who can make interest and advertise automatically our event. As I have explained these things, you might have all have experienced once in a lifetime such kind of event arranging. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I don't want to keep you long into that meeting thought and bring you to what I would like to present. So, over here in this meeting, I will try to use the same scenario into 4 to 5 times, and you will analyze what kind of communication styles normally people have. This meeting of ours was headed by a man suited with decisive, competitive, independent, and confidence. He was a direct kind of person. Now he is always result oriented. His communication style was just like, this is what we have been assigned and you have to perform. These kind of people are always result oriented. They are normally not bothered about what kind of other feelings are, what others' opinions are. They are just strong-willed people. And this is really helpful when you are just focused on the goal. This is a direct communication style, which we always receive from our managers. But there is one more manager who handles the scenario or the event on the other side. For example, he prefers to be initiating. Now, initiating does not end over here because it is more a liability, because you are socially involved with everyone. You are enthusiastic, yes, but then the energetic and the spontaneous are always helpful. But the best thing which I like is this one, initiating. Because these managers are always fun-loving. They live for the moment. They believe in relationships. They believe in what procedures and attempts are enabled in benefit of people around the room and towards the goal of the major mega event. Same scenario, if we go towards a supportive way, these managers are very calm, they are steady, they are approachable, sincere and gentle. Now, I'm not saying that the previous two had some lacking. These all have one goal for a mega event. How to perform is what comes from the leader's communication style. Now, as I described, the supportive or the name supportive is clearly mentioned why these programs are handled so carefully, so delicately. They give full rights to other members, but they are supportive. They don't blame others, they help. Now, if I give you a scenario that once an operation is going on, every department is working, and there is one person keeping an eye on a balcony view. He is ready to analyze what is happening and where to catch that person. I am still saying the same thing. Mega event is up the way. These supportive relationship happens. It helps in relating more happy things. Now, one meeting or the one suit guy, he is very analytic. Now, these analytical people are those people, before you enter the meeting room, before you are thinking of anything, what's going to happen in that room, on your desk, there is a name where you are going to sit. There is a chart available that which department you are following. Even they mention how and by what time you have to finish the project. And these are the analytical projects. Now, I am not bossing anything on which is the best communication style. Trust me, these all are result oriented. But why I am bringing it to you, guest Toastmasters, don't deny your, if you find someone not matching your communication style. You should be aware of these things because the longer run is your objectives, your goals. This is very important to know what leaders follow or what kind of community we are in. Just remember, objectives are always the first priority. Refuse to bring your ego when you are meeting such kind of communicative managers. But the best communication is when you are supportive, initiative, because that time you build relations for a healthy competition and a longer success. Instead of denial, prefer to communicate and bring those objectives of the company and your self-belief to a higher ranks. Fellow Toastmasters, this was just a small highlight of what communication can help you and what brings the best in you. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, TM Latif, for such a wonderful speech. And moving on, we move on to the second part of the session, that is the table topic session. And before that, I would like to ask the timer, have all the speakers qualified?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hiba. I'm sure I'm audible.
Yes.
Okay, all the speakers are qualified.
Okay. So please vote count of float the link for the voting.
So the link will be floated in few minutes, so you can continue with the table topic speech session.
Okay, moving on. As I mentioned before, we'll move on to the second part of the session, the table topic session, and the table topic master for today is DTM Talha bin Hamid. So I call upon DTM Talha bin Hamid on the virtual floor.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, and welcome all to our table topic session. All of you know today that our theme of the meeting is environment. And before I move on with the table topics itself, I will request my mentor and, of course, evaluator for this project, Toastmaster Najm Rizvi, to introduce this project, because I'm doing this as part of the active listening project of Pathways. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Talha. DTM Talha, we all know, is a very good speaker, but leadership is not all about speaking. It's also important to be a good listener. And today, his project is to show that he is a good listener. How? Well, between each speaker, you would be required to say something to fill that gap between two speeches. And what he says should show that he has listened to what the speaker was saying, and two, he has understood what the speaker was saying. So that is the objective of his project. How does he do it? It should be like an affirming statement on what the speaker was saying, or something lighthearted but linked to what the speaker was saying. So that's how he will do it. And good luck with your project. I'll be evaluating you at the end of the session. Over to you, Talha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Najm. In terms of environment, let's not mince any words. We are not heading towards an environmental catastrophe. We are in deep environmental catastrophe. We are in the midst of a catastrophe. By 2050, most of the Middle East will cease to be livable for human beings. And does anyone realize what Middle East includes? It includes the center of all three major world religions, including Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. By 2050, and I'm not talking about 2100, I'm just talking about 2050, most of the world's coastal cities, including the one we are sitting in, at least most of us are sitting in, will be subject to routine flooding every summer. And the inhabitable area will reduce and reduce. By 2100, we would have added 2 or 3 degrees Celsius to the average temperature of the world. And the first effect that it will have will be on the cultivable area around the world. We will simply lose the space to be able to cultivate the food we eat. Doesn't matter whether we eat meat or vegetables, or we are into those fancy organic foods, or maybe plant-based substitutes. There will be no space to cultivate any of that food. So today, my table topics will center around these issues, and they will seek to exchange some ideas with the table topic speakers about the various forms of pollution and environmental disasters, and what can be done and what is being done to help it, even if a little bit. So my first table topic speaker today will be our guest all the way from Lahore, Toastmaster Ahmed Abdullah. Toastmaster Ahmed, are you there?
Just a minute, please. Just a minute.
Okay. So maybe we can come back to you later. Okay.
Sure, sure, sure. Please.
Okay, great. But you won't be spared, so be ready.
Sure, sure, sure,
Okay.
sure. Why not?
Okay. So Toastmaster, or rather, guest Razia Anam, are you there? Would you like to speak on a table topic?
Yes.
I will request you to turn on your video. I will remind all table topic speakers that you are expected to speak at least for 1 minute and maximum for 2.5 minutes. And of course, so Toastmaster Razia, is it possible for you to turn on your video?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much. So, guest Razia, your topic is food wastage.
Food wastage.
What can be done to reduce or prevent food wastage? Over to you, Toastmaster or guest Razia.
All right. So we are in the stage where we are actually producing a lot of wastage. We are actually not evaluating ourselves how we are taking food, particular quantity. So on daily basis, there are a lot of food wastage from the production side, from the restaurants, from on different, I think we can say on different stages. And all these foods are food waste are actually collecting from all these foods are actually going directly dustbin and wastage. So very few of the companies who are more sustainable and responsible who are actually collecting those waste and going making them to and converting them to the organic. So one of the company that is EBM is actually working on that particular thing that they are converting waste into organic. And a few of the restaurants who are working on collecting the food waste and providing to the poor people, to the needy people in the within the Karachi. And I think there is a 48 percentage globally collected food waste that from all the sectors. And this is a I actually quoting this from the reference WWF website. And that particular wastage of food served for 4.8 billion people around the world. So this is, I think, accurate numbers. I got this research from the last from a couple of months ago. I just did this research and found this graph. So I think if we are not responsible for the food waste collection and taking it to the consideration that food waste is one of the biggest challenge for the people of Karachi, for the needy people, and we are also having a shortage of resources in terms of we can convert that food wastage to the biogas as we are having some of the shortages of gas, facing shortage of gas in winter seasons that will actually help us to cover that particular resource as a biogas. If we convert food waste to the biogas and utilizing into the needy areas or some areas where there is no gas, like Balochistan, sweet areas, and it's actually a production that 2025 onwards we will face a lot of shortages of resources. So there's a climate change, there's a environmental change. So I think food waste is the biggest challenge for the Pakistani people and for the country. We have to be more responsible and moving ourselves towards the sustainable lifestyle.
Thank you so much. I must say, I was expecting a table topic speech, and instead we got a researching and presenting project. You came across as a seasoned speaker, and your speech was exceptionally well-founded, well-researched, and that is completely flabbergasting to me because it was supposed to be an extempore speech. So absolutely fantastic, fantastic job. And much more than that, you all gave us a reason to hope that something is being done about food pollution. So yeah, congratulations on that. Next, we have Toastmaster Ahmed Abdullah. Toastmaster Ahmed, are you there? Toastmaster Ahmed, are you there? Okay, we will come to our ever popular table topic speaker, and now finally a member, Toastmaster Mariam. Toastmaster Mariam Aftab Kitwai, are you there? Please
Yes, I am.
unmute you. Yeah. Okay, great. So, Toastmaster Mariam, your topic is plastic pollution, especially in our oceans. What it is and what to do about it. And apologies to the previous speaker, I forgot to remind you that word of the day is contamination. So everyone, word of the day is contamination. Please try to use it in your speeches, in your evaluations, or just use contamination for contamination's sake. So yeah, Wordmaster, I used it twice. So over to you, Toastmaster Mary.
Okay, can you repeat the topic again?
Yeah, plastic pollution, especially in oceans.
Okay, as we all know that we are in Karachi right now, and we have seen enough of these plastic wastages, and there are some sad news that we have heard that we found plastic and polythenes and different kinds of stuff in the mouth of fishes or any whale or any species. But the problem is what we are doing towards that. Government have installed different sort of dustbins over there, and there are different something unique, lavish, or maybe you can see a whale shaped garbage over there truck where you can put your garbage there. But what we are doing, are we doing it? Are we taking the right steps as a citizen? What are our duties? Are we well aware of that? Well, if you ask anyone, any layman, that what you think the plastic wastage, should we have anything like that? Should we have some machines where we put plastic cans and the things like that where we can control these things? So everyone will say yes, there should be, there will. But the problem is we are not aware of that, how to do that. When you go abroad, when you go to other countries, you yourself become very conscious about things. You don't have to throw it on the road. You have to be very conscious about the places you are at. You have to behave and difference. But when you are in your homeland, you behave like you are at your. You don't behave normally. You don't behave like an adult or maybe someone who should be responsible enough. That's the problem. So the first problem that is that we have to amend ourselves. We have to be conscious enough that we should not throw it. Once we adopt this change, we accept this change, and we improve ourselves in doing that, the things will become very easy. So that's the main problem. I think that we have, the first thing is improve yourself, behave yourself, and do not throw any garbage anywhere, whether it is ocean, whether it is the road, whether it is anywhere. Secondly, obviously, government will take actions. They are doing things, but if we do not follow that, they're useless. There's no need for that. Because when we go abroad, we behave. When we are at our own homeland, we become I don't know what. I don't have a word for that. So that creates a really, that's a bad thing. That's the worst thing that we do. We do not behave responsibly. Just thank you. Okay. We do not behave and we do not take responsibility as we should do that. Thank you. Beta,
Standing ovation, Toastmaster Mariam, what you just dealt with during your speech, and still you managed to complete the speech. You managed to give a proper conclusion to your table topic. So you were looking for that word that we become when we are in Pakistan. I don't have the word for that either, but perhaps it's something similar to what your little one was doing to you right now, isn't it? That's what we do to our environment. So amazing, amazing speech. Congratulations, Toastmaster Maria. Okay, Toastmaster Ahmed Abdullah, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am here. Just let me turn on my video
Fantastic.
too.
Can you please? Yeah, sure.
Yes, please,
Sure.
yes.
Great, great. So Toastmaster Ahmed Abdullah. Carbon footprint of electric vehicles. Your ideas and thoughts on those. Word of the day is contamination.
Contamination.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Well, since electricity was discovered, or you can say invented, and since then, it's that technology is changing and changing, and the oldest machine we have are engines, and the new industry in the 17th and the 18th industry century is built on engine. So now, as the world is getting contaminated, there is the air pollution that is increasing, and we are living in that contaminated world. And the carbon footprint is also increasing day by day. And recently, what has happened in Europe due to increase in floods. They are all saying that we need to make the world more green and clean. So electrical vehicles are the future, but the thing is that we need more stable technology in that, better batteries, or we should also try to focus on the renewable energies. And in short, we can say that the more we are advancing, we are basically connecting with our past. Even we are advancing, the ways we are now adopting to be sustainable are the basic ones that we used to do. So in the last, I would like to say, think big, but act small, or you can say simple. This is the how we can have sustainable progress. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ahmed Abdullah. And yes, you echoed my thoughts on the subject, because this whole electric vehicle thing has been glamorized beyond all reason. If one simply looks at the portion of pollutants that motor vehicles throw into the environment, it is not even 10% of the overall pollution that's being dumped into the atmosphere. And what electric vehicles are doing is that they are simply shifting the harmful emissions from the tailpipe to the power plants that will be used to power those electric vehicles. that's simply what's happening. The pollution is shifting from the tailpipes of the cars to the factories. And secondly, that is just one aspect. And secondly, there's no great drive towards sustainability in the manufacture of motor vehicles. And without that, there will not be any meaningful positive impact of battery electric vehicles. The only positive impact will be to the pockets of Elon Musk and other visionaries like him. They're taking everyone for a ride, and I must admire them for the skill they are displaying. So yeah, congratulations, everyone. So
yes, one more thing is that like in electric cars, the batteries, they are the real waste. So
exactly,
where to dispose that? So this is also one thing. So I think what we can do, we can walk more, we can use bicycle more.
Yeah.
When we are moving in our locality, or what we can do, if we are going into the city, we can park the car somewhere and then we can use the cycle as people do in Europe. So we can do those things to change our lifestyle. So the more we will introduce walk and cycling and physical movement into our life, that not only be better for the planet and cost effective for us, but this lifestyle also give us quality life.
Thank you so much. Yes, we necessarily don't need to change our mode of transportation, rather we need to change our habits, and that stands true for all forms of pollution. My next speaker would be, okay, Toastmaster Shamil Sharia. Are you there? Toastmaster Shamil, are you there? Okay, we have our guest, Sufyan Haider. Guest Sufyan, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Can you please turn on your video?
Yeah, sure.
So, Mr. Sufyan, your table topic is, and again, let me just remind that you have to speak for at least 1 minute and maximum for 2.5 minutes on the topic that you're assigned. Your topic is noise pollution. What we can do to contain noise pollution, because noise pollution is something that slowly plays with our minds and we don't even know it. So any ideas, thoughts, and suggestions on noise pollution? Word of the day is contamination. Over to you.
Thank you so much. The topic is noise pollution. So my thought about noise pollution is that there is vehicles in the road, and there is, as we all know, our major cities like Karachi and Lahore is going to more populated with, due to the vehicles and contaminate more toward pollutions. So there is a lot of cars and vehicles on the road that may contributed to and contaminated toward more noise pollution. So we have how we can overcome these noise pollutions, and how we can save ourselves for the future, is that we have to work on what are the main root cause of that noise pollution. If I am talking about the noise pollution, is that mainly which I am concerning and I'm talking about the noise pollution, is that the main I think the horn, the heavy horn, and horn type, like in the noise pollution, which are accumulating toward major disasters of the airs, which is going toward from that peripheries. So we have like if I talk about while the truck is going from somewhere between the localities, so where the residents are placing. So if there is a huge horn, there is a frequency within a high frequency of that horn, so that may cause the air damage to the persons or human which are living beside near that specific peripheries or specific roads. So we have to work on that. How we can, if we have to avoid, we have to make some rules whether the heavy vehicles is passing from any localities within the cities or within the specific area where there are children and there is homes, there is resident from the resident passage. So we have to avoid that horn that may be destroy some airs and the frequency of hearing of the any individual. So what I got from that topic. So I think that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And once again, I am bowled over by your speech because you covered the topic so beautifully. And what's more, you informed us, you gave us ideas about what we could do about noise pollution. And let me just share one more thing that I've discovered personally. You mentioned about traffic noise. You know, if you drive like there is no horn in your car, 99.9% of the time, you simply won't feel the need to use the horn. We just use it as a matter of habit. And if you won't use it, other people won't use it as well. Trust me, try it for one of your drives and it will work. And it will considerably reduce your stress levels. Now is the time to call my last speaker of the day, Toastmaster Hiba Raees. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Toastmaster Hiba, industrial waste, what it is and what to do about it. Word of the day is contamination. Over to you.
Okay. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, industrial waste is something which is produced by factories and production houses, and it is something which contaminates and destroys the environment. Industrial waste is something which cannot be avoided because it's a byproduct. It's a production. It's sort of a byproduct of the goods that the industry produces. So rather, the government should try to use that industrial waste in some try to recycle that industrial waste in some form or another, and rather than leaving it on the seashores and in different places in parts of the city where industries are, and by recycling it, we'll again save the environment because the resources are being used. And industrial waste also produces poisonous gases and fumes which destroys the environment in the long run, because these fumes and gases are released in the atmosphere and they result in acid rain, which we all know about. So, by recycling these industrial wastes, we are not only saving the environment, but we are making some good use of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hiba. And that was the last speaker. On the concluding note, let me share one more personal thought with all of you. I have seen that in the current state of our world in which we are in, we need, and our subsequent generations need, certain sets of skills to be able to address the environmental catastrophe and to deal with it and to adapt to it. So if a forest fire is consuming the cultivable land, you don't scream for a chartered accountant. You don't say that, I wish there was an opera singer to put out this fire. You don't say that, where are all the poets who will fix this fire? No, you need scientists, engineers, firemen. So let's think about it. In order to provide our children with a solid moral compass and a sense of collective good, we need to educate them in morality, religion, and social sciences, and more importantly, the proper sciences, engineering, medicine, because this is what the humanity will need in 10 to 20 years. Trust me, most of the skills that we have right now, as a result of our professional studies, they are only good for this artificial construct that we have made, that the artificial construct of capitalism, commerce, and a certain world system. And there's nothing wrong with that. But in the face of impending environmental crisis, very few remnants of this system will survive. And then we'll be searching for scientists and medical professionals to solve the real problems of humanity. So let's guide our children towards that. So with that, Mr. Timer, has everyone qualified?
Thank you very much, Table Topic Master. Only 3 of the speakers are qualified. Toastmaster guest Razia Anam and Toastmaster Mariam Kibwai, unfortunately they didn't qualify. So we have guest Sufyan Haider, Toastmaster Hiba Raees Khan, and Toastmaster Ahmed Abdullah. They are qualified for voting. The link will be shared shortly.
Okay, great. So our vote counter, who is also the timer, will be sharing the link shortly. Watch out for the link in the chat box. And meanwhile, let me hand over the charge to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Hiba. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Table Topic Master DTM Talha. Moving on, now I would like to move on to the last part of the session, that is the general evaluation. And the general evaluator for the day is TM Latif Mansoor Ali. So TM Latif Mansoor Ali, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. First of all, I would like to congratulate each and every member who witnessed such an energetic session of table topic and prepared speech. It was heartening when we were seeing that before evaluation, I have been witnessed to such a kind of speeches. People spoke from their heart. Their projects were thrilling. There were excitement. Now, let's hear from the evaluators so that our prepared speakers, who are the future champions, prepare their best for the contest. Our first speaker was Toastmaster Urusa Kawal, and his speech was evaluated by Ghulam Kader. So Toastmaster Ghulam Kader, please, if you can evaluate her speech. Over to you.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. So, Toastmaster Urusa, I always like your speeches. The reason being the kind of the composure, the kind of the flow, the way you speak in such a confident and a composed manner. Your speeches are, I would call it as, are perfect to be called as a professional. You're perfectly to be called as a professional speaker. So your project was also to prepare to speak professionally. And let me congratulate you. You achieved 100 out of 100. You can speak professionally. The elephant in the room was the speech title. And you started off very well. Excellent start. You narrated a sort of incident that if you are driving a car and you're stuck at a signal and the signal goes off green and suddenly some children run by in front of your car, what will be the first word which will come to your mind? So that is a kind of a tip for every one of the speakers over here, that this is how initially you can engage the audience, and the audience was automatically engaged. Myself, Imran, Tala, everybody was engaged, and we were giving answers and we were listening to your speech. Psychopathic topic, a very difficult topic to choose, very difficult one. And it's a very brave, it has to be a very brave and a courageous speaker to choose such topic, because on such topics we do not discuss within on such forums, especially in the professional environment or maybe at home, we do not discuss. We do feel that there are certain elements who should be termed as psychopaths, but we do not. One thing which really scared me out of your speech was that some of the CEOs can also be called as a psychopathic. So I can easily relate to someone whom I know. So thank you very much for letting me know the correct terminology to be used for them. So you explained pretty well the professionally, the religion part, and the kids winning the games, how they keep on winning the games, and what sort of phenomena that is, and how they get stuck into this psychopathism, whatever we call it as. So overall, excellent speech. I must say this was a very professional speech. Few areas of improvement, or maybe certain suggestions that if for certain, since this is a pretty long speech from 18 to 22 minutes, so if you could add certain stories that will keep the interest going of the audience, certain stories. Lastly, if you would have stood up and delivered the speech, this would have created a much more better impact. So those are the advices. Otherwise, excellent project. Congratulations to you. And I really loved it. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, for a meticulous evaluation of Toastmaster Urusa Kawal. One thing which I really feel Urusa Kawal can do this in her project is shout a little louder. I mean, it's okay if nobody gets, pagal hai kya? You could have said it in English. It would be a lovely beginning to this engaging. Now, let's move ahead. Now, this evaluator, I prefer if I give 10 speeches in 1 year, I want him to be an evaluator. But DTM Raghu, you are lucky to have him. And we are lucky as part of him to be always present in our meetings. So over to you, DTM Talab bin Hamid, to evaluate DTM Raghu's speech.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Who would have thought it that we would witness the recounting of a crusade against godlessness and lack of moral compass from someone who lives in Hyderabad, India, and who carried out that crusade in Mumbai as a result of a call from the USA, and is now recounting those events in Karachi. Amazing concept, DTM Raghu. I'm really inspired by your sense of purpose behind your Toastmasters assignments. And this is something we should all emulate. You did your speech standing up. You had excellent audience engagement. You had genuine emotions behind your content. And that is something respectable and, again, worth emulating. You had real sincerity in your speech. Your content was superb. And you use some really good language to deliver that content. You explained the dilemma about free service, offering something for free. And that's a dilemma all Toastmasters, especially Toastmasters leaders, go through, whether to offer something for free or whether to charge. In 2 lines, you covered a lifetime of puzzlement and experimentation. Congratulations on that. Congratulations also on getting your club's documentation approved in 2 days. I don't know what strings you pulled, because for us, it takes three weeks to a month. I would love to find out privately from you. Then you gave your speech a very nice existential twist that for one, I did not see coming. You linked your Toastmasters pursuit to the pursuit of instilling a sense of moral compass and a sense of there being a God. Because if you dispose of the concept of God, you really lose all reason to act morally. And that's what people don't realize. There is no inherent moral compass in human nature. The moral compass comes from your beliefs, and especially a belief in God. So congratulations on that. God is everywhere and belongs to everyone. You demonstrated it. I especially liked your ending note. Do what you can. Those 4 words are very powerful. No matter what you're doing, do what you can. And not just complete projects, but do what you can to improve the society and to instill moral compass within the people around you. So your message was superb as well. You clearly demonstrated that this is close to your second distinguished Toastmaster, and you've rightly elevated your pursuits both intellectually and technically. Slight improvement areas. Your start was slightly jittery. I did not like your background. I expected to see Hyderabad, India in your background. And you could have amplified your emotions by approaching the camera and raising your voice a little bit. But other than that, project superbly delivered. Congratulations in advance on your DTM. Over to you, General Velvet.
Thank you, DTM Talab and Hamid, for evaluating such a wonderful project, which really enhanced the youth to speak. And I can sincerely believe this. If you spark these youth from this age, you have sparked them for life. Thank you very much for such an evaluation. And thank you, DTM Raghu, for keeping this project and learning process ongoing. Our next speaker was Toastmaster Mohammad Azhar Khan. Before his evaluation, I call him. His speeches are always a smile, bring smile on everyone's face. So let's see what it brings to the evaluators. Let's see. Toastmaster Ali Hasnan, please, if you can evaluate our ace speaker by now, Toastmaster Azhar. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Taha. And it was a pleasure to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Azhar. It was amazing how you took us through the journey of your path, which was amazing, especially how you completed the projects of managing the problem audience and taking the elective projects, how you were determined, how you made it through, although knowing that you were not really good at public speaking initially, but still you managed to pick up these projects and you managed to ace them. So a big round of applause for TM Azhar Khan for this. I would like to highlight a few areas that you excelled at, and you deserve even more applause for that. You started with the greeting, that was good. Your gestures, expressions, and eye contact, that was all perfect. And I could see you have the spark of a seasoned public speaker that was pretty much evident in your speech. Then you had a consistent smile on throughout your speech, which means you were confident and you had no stage fright, and very confidently you carried on with the speech without stuttering or stammering or losing the confidence. That was amazing. Just a few areas I would like to highlight that you can work on and improve. I would come up with only 2 areas that you can work on and excel at your skills. First, inflection. I think, and the speech was a bit monotone. Like you said, today I'm sharing slides. It could have been today I'm sharing slides with all of you. So a bit of inflection that will make your speech more interesting. And secondly, whenever you're giving a speech, there has to be a reasonable distance between you and the camera so that it's not just your face, it's your face along with your body that we can see, and we can see your body language and evaluate you on basis of that as well. So like the ideal situation is to stand like 5 to 6 feet away from the camera and then stand up and give the speech. That would have been amazing if you had more body area covered in the camera. I would say the thing that always impresses me in your speeches is the confidence that keeps you going, even though you keep on improving. Still, you never lose your confidence. That is the best thing, and that's a highlight of your speech. And you summed it all up very nicely in your speech. Always follow the path that's right for you. I think that makes sense for all of us. Many congratulations on fulfilling this speech, and looking forward to more amazing projects from you in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ali Hasnain. Actually, I should say twice thank you for gracing our meeting also after a very, very long time. One thing which I would like to say about Toastmaster Azhar, if he shared his 6-7 months experience, you didn't come this far to only come this far. You have to go beyond. So congratulations for completing this project and many more to come. Now, our last speaker is, okay, it's me. So let me call my evaluator, Shamil Shariar. Shamil Shariar, please.
Am I audible? Okay. TM Latif Mansoor Ali. I would like to start this evaluation by stating that I admire how you were looking at the camera doing your speech and how you gave your speech with such confidence and clarity. You were speaking very well, and everybody were probably able to hear you despite the background noises. The topic of your speech was very interesting, and it caught my attention, even though some of your statement words went over my head. But I know that it was about being optimistic and positive thoughts. I like to point out that I am also optimistic. Therefore, I couldn't seem to find any flaws in your project. However, there were some background noises, such as someone else speaking very loudly, which was contaminating our attention for you and your leadership skills. But it was probably out of your control, so you probably couldn't do much about it. There was another thing I noticed during your speech. It was your hand gestures. I know you were using a lot of gestures to express your words, but the audience weren't able to see it. I mean, they saw some of it, but the other time they were beneath the camera, so we didn't got much chance to glance at it. So my advice is that, if possible, try to use your hand gestures a little bit higher, if possible. Overall, it was very excellent speech. Over to you, TM Latif.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shamil. Yes, if I have to evaluate my speech, it was not one of those which I used to do it standing and delivering, but it's okay. Sometimes we have to manage just to be on time delivering our projects. Now, if you all have noticed, I have completed the prepared speech session, but still I have an evaluator to be called for. And this evaluation is respected Toastmaster Najam Rizvi, and he's been evaluating project of DTM Talha active listening. Toastmaster Najam Rizvi, please, if you can raise with your feedback.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Obviously, evaluating DTM Talha is a challenge in itself, being such a good speaker. But as I said at the beginning, this is more about listening rather than speaking, and to show that you are listening to others and you understood what they have said. Now, Talha showed all the requirements for a good speaker, which was clarity, vocal variety, eye contact. He was comfortable speaking. So he showed he was engaged with the speakers also. Now what I'll do is I'll point out how he spoke between each speaker. The first topic was food wastage. You complimented the speaker by saying that it was well researched, though it was beyond the time limit. You didn't mention that. That was good. I mean, there was no point mentioning it. And then the second speaker was Mariam Aftab, plastic pollution. I saw your eye movements there. You were you were moving your eyes. So that showed you had contact. You were making eye contacts. You also made a few Allama Iqbal poses like that. and that also showed that you are paying attention to the speaker. So, and coming to the third speaker, carbon footprint of electric vehicles. Ahmed Abdullah was the speaker. Well, here I think I have something to advise you on. You took up speaking on the topic itself after the speaker has spoken. Why electric vehicles are not, I mean, that's something going beyond what table topic master is supposed to do. And probably maybe you were using up more time than would have been allotted for this role. So I think you have to be conscious of that and avoid maybe that situation. Our fourth speakers, now before the fourth speaker began, you reminded the speakers about the time limits. That was a very good thing. I mean, you were conscious that the speakers were going beyond time, and you wanted to ensure that people were remained within their time so they wouldn't be disqualified. Now, the fourth topic was noise pollution. Again, you showed that you were listening to the speaker. And at the end, the last topic was industrial waste. You again complimented the speaker and showed that you were listening to the speaker and you had some nice words for the speaker. At the end, you gave a nice conclusion to the speech. Here again, maybe the conclusion was good, but maybe you used more time that would have been allocated. So overall, excellent. You showed that you had completed the project very well. You were a very good active listener. Congratulations. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Najam Rizvi. Now it's time for timer's report and voting. So timer, please advise if everyone has been qualified, all the evaluators.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. All the evaluators are qualified for voting and link will be shared shortly.
Thank you once again. Members present in the meeting are requested to please vote for the best evaluator. Let's move on for the table topic evaluation.
Okay, I would like to make another announcement that in table topics voting, it was mistakenly written Toastmaster Azhar's name. So I'll be sharing the table topics speaker link once again. So apologies, you have to recast the vote once again. First, the table topic speaker and then the prepared speech evaluation. Thank you so much.
Our Toastmaster table topic sessions evaluator is Toastmaster Noreen Fatima. She is the president of Islamabad Toastmasters Club and yes, member of Karachi Toastmasters Club also. She's been serving this district also for whole last year and this year also she is very active member, I think in PR group. So over to you, please give us the evaluation.
Okay, what a great table topic session it was. As theme of today's meeting was environment, and our table topic master did justice with the theme, and we heard amazing speeches about environment, and I was so amazed that each and every speaker is more aware about the environmental degradation, and they opened up their hearts and showed, and they are aware that what they can do in order to conserve our environment and what should be done. So let's start from our first speaker. Our first speaker was guest Razia. What a great speech it was. It seemed that you are already, I think, a true environmentalist. You shared some stats, and it was seen that it was a prepared speech actually. You built a narrative about food wastage, and you also mentioned some companies who are working for in order to reduce food wastage, and she shared some stats as well with some references as well. That was the best thing. And the most important thing that I really loved about her speech was that she seemed confident and calm throughout the speech. Only my suggestion for her is if she could add some personal stories in the speech that could add more flavor and could gauge the audience in a more better way. Overall, it was a constructive speech. Moving towards our next speaker, our table topic, I can say champion, Toastmaster Mariam Aftab. Although she was in a trouble, but she managed to do justice with the topic. First, she defined what is plastic pollution. Then she let us know about plastic pollution in oceans. She also shared some examples and comparison of Pakistan and Western countries, that how we behave when we go abroad and how we behave when we are in Pakistan. And one recommendation for her is to, ma'am, start working on your vocal variety. You are already a confident speaker. I have noticed you have some amazing content, but now start working on vocal variety, so it will add more flavor and more impact on your speeches. Next, we had Toastmaster Ahmed Abdullah. Now, I really loved his speech. His topic was a bit tricky for him, but he managed to do justice with it. He took some pause and then built a narrative about electricity. He started from some history, and then he shared some examples, and then he shared some solutions as well. Shared some solutions in order to reduce our carbon footprint. And our next guest was Sufyan Heather. He was a guest. It was also a wonderful speech. Although I think he came to our meeting, I think, for the very first time, but he defined what is noise pollution and then examples, and he also shared its causes and also impacts on human health. And at the end, he also provides some of the ways or we should act responsibly in order to avoid it. Last but not the least, Toastmaster Hiba Raees Khan. Toastmaster Hiba Raees Khan first defined what is industrial waste, how it can impact, or she also shared that how we should act responsibility. She also shared some solutions in order to reduce it. But I have only one suggestion for her. If she could share some of the industrial waste, some of the industrial companies in Karachi who are actually affecting, or she could share some personal stories, how they are affecting in that area, it would add more impact in her story. Also, one more suggestion for her is to work on her camera position, because she was away from her camera, so it was difficult for me to actually observe her body language. Overall, it was a great speech, and I can see the red card. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
In Toastmasters, they have to introduce Mr. General Evaluator. Thank you, Toastmaster Noreen Fatima, for such an evaluation, which really will help our future Toastmasters, because they were guests, and love to hear more from you on your project speeches also. Now, let's move on for the facilitators. Please, if you can, facilitators, if you're ready, please, if I can call first of all our Toastmaster Ghulam Kader. He was the grammarian. Toastmaster Ghulam Kader is he in the room?
Can't see him.
Okay. Let's move on for the our counter. Toastmaster Urusa Kawal, please.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Our very first speaker was Toastmaster Hiba as the Toastmaster of the day, and she had 1 hour during that time. Then our first speaker, Toastmaster DTM Raghu, he had 1 non-connected and so. Second speaker, Toastmaster Azhar, 1 non-connected and so, 2 repetitions and 1 other word. Then Toastmaster Latif, 2 basically now means non-connected now and non-connected basically. TTM Tala, 6 ums, 1 non-connected and so, and 1 repetition. Guest Razia, 7 ums, 1 non-connected, 3 non-connected and so, and 1 other word. Toastmaster Mariam, 2 ums, 1 non-connected and so, and 1 other word. Toastmaster Ahmad, 7 ums, 2 repetitions. Guest Sufyan, 11 ums, 1 non-connected and so, and 1 repetition. Toastmaster Hiba as the table topic speaker, 1 and 1 non-connected and so. That's it. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Urusa Kawal. Now let's move on for the grammarian report. Grammarian report was monitored by our word master also for today, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. Please, Ghulam Qadir, if you can give your report.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. I'll be giving 2 reports. The first report will be of the word master and the second will be of the grammarian. So the first one, the word of the day was contaminate or contamination, whatever the speaker would have chosen. But unfortunately, this word was not spoken during the prepared speeches. However, during the table topic, this word was spoken by table topic master, DTM Tala, 5 times. And then by Toastmaster Ahmed twice, and then guest Sufyan once, and Toastmaster Hiba once. So this is the report from the word master. Then on the grammarian, most of the time, the speakers were pretty on spot for the grammar part. So these were the 2-3 things which I just highlighted. The one, a sentence was used, I will be noted down. I will be noting down. It should have been. We was to, we were to. Public will understand. Audience will understand. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, for such a detailed report. Let's move on for a timer's report. Timer, Toastmaster Imran Rana, please, if you can.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Latif. For timing, Toastmaster Urusa, in prepared speech session, Toastmaster Urusa took 18 minutes, DTM Raghu took 10 minutes and 14 seconds, Toastmaster Azhar took 11 minutes and 31 seconds, and Toastmaster Latif took 7 minutes and 10 seconds. In table topics session, guest Razia Anam took 3 minutes and 47 seconds, Toastmaster Mariam Aftab took 2 minutes 56 seconds, guest Sufyan Haider took 2 minutes and 25 seconds, Toastmaster Hiba took 1 minute and 47 seconds, Toastmaster Ahmed Abdullah took 2 minutes and 29 seconds. For prepared speech evaluation, we had Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, he took 3 minutes. Then DTM Talha took 3 minutes and 23 seconds. Allotted time was from 2 minutes to 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Toastmaster Ali Hasnan took 2 minutes and 52 seconds. Toastmaster Shamil took 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Finally, Toastmaster Najam took 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran. For the guest interest, I would just like to remind each and every one also, it is very important, and in Toastmasters, we do practice timing. All our projects are based on time, and that helps us to master the best warrior of life, the time. So just wanted to thank Toastmaster Imran also for generously always volunteering for this timing report. Now, let's have some fun. Toastmaster Azhar has one of all of us have spoken something and we have to answer who has it. Our listening test skills. Toastmaster Azhar, back over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dev. So now we start one by one. So now, are you ready? Good. So my first sentence is, and you will guess who spoke the sentence. They high achiever and no happiness.
Toastmaster Runsa.
Yes, you're right. Your objective, your goals, and other things. Who told this line? Yes, exactly. You're right. Just like a butterfly. Just we're like a butterfly. Who told this?
TTM Raghu.
Yes, absolutely right. Sometimes I decided to give up instead of getting up.
Azhar.
Yes, you're right. We live in Karachi.
Mariam Aftab.
Mariam.
Yes, of course. We should center plastic material and elements. We go abroad, we care, but we are a homeland, we do not.
Mariam Aftab Kidwai.
Yes, you're right. The most commitment of CEO. The most commitment of the company CEO.
Urusa Kaval.
Yes. Yes. We are a family. Family under the sky.
Raghu.
TTM Raghu.
Yes. Mr. Timer, please, speakers are qualified. Just kidding. Okay? No, not DTM Tala. Just kidding. Okay. Okay. Lovely topic. His smiles always before speech.
Babar Ali Hasnan. Ali Hasnan Babar.
No. He told, lovely topic. He smiled always before speech.
Latif hoga. Latif.
Yes. Yes, you're right. Best warrior of time. Best warrior of time. Time is very, very precious and time is has importance. He said, take a best warrior of time.
Latif Mansur Ali.
Yes. Yes, Latif. Your emotions, your explains dilemma speech. Maybe I'm right. I think he or she said, your speech very well. You explain your dilemma speech.
Ali Hasnan Babar.
No. DTM Tala. You should have 5 to 6 feet distance to camera.
Ali Hasnan.
Ali Hasnan Babar.
Yes, of course. Most of the time, speaker said we was, but actually we were. Public will understand.
Ghulam Kader.
Yes.
Grammarian, Ghulam Kader.
Grammarian. So thank you, Toastmaster Latif. Now over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Azhar, for such an exciting session of listening skills. Now let's have voting for the facilitators.
Link has been shared.
That's what we call perfectionist. Toastmaster Imran, you all are requested to please vote from the link shared on the chat box. Now it's my time of evaluation. As I said, the most powerful warrior of all times are patience and time. So today we mastered the time, actually, I will say. As we see the clock, it's 9:15. We are ending up the session, almost to the conclusion. One good thing which happened today was all the speakers were motivating each other. The evaluators have given such a sandwich approach that really admires or encourages the speakers to come, and that's the real way, and that is the correct vision of Toastmasters, where the leaders are made. One thing which I would like to point out is the table topic session. Most of the time it went as a panel discussion, and it's no harm actually, but the topics were just so open-ended that it really made the speaker energetic, enthusiastic to speak about that topic. And of course, then your feedback of active listening was also encouraging them to, just unmute them and speak more. So nothing wrong when we are in time. It's all good. It's just one of the evaluation skills that we have to pick up, nitpicking something to make sure the next time it doesn't have the problems. Now, the very ending session, evaluation. Evaluation session was promptly on time, which one of these speakers' mistakes were noted. The facilitators were all good. Now I would like to add one thing. Now when I see the minutes of the meeting, or when we are seeing the summary or the bulletin of the meeting, I would prefer a grammarian report. Like for example, if the grammarian or the grammarian has noted down, if there is a procedure, we can have that in one sheet shared on the group, so it can help others if it's convenient for, this is just a suggestion, because sometimes maybe 5 speakers see, but we have a memory of, when we read and we think about it, it really helps. So that's my only suggestion. Once again, it's 9:15. We are all in time, and now it's my time to hand over podium to virtual stage to Toastmaster of the Day, Hiba Raees Khan, who really generously selected this environment and make us all involved in this electric meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Okay, thank you, General Evaluator TM Latif. Now I would like to call upon the vote for the Big Four. The Big Four are me, TM Hiba, and the table topic master, TM Talha bin Hamid, the table topic evaluator, TM Noreen Fatma, and the general evaluator, TM Latif Mansoor Ali. So please, Mr. Vote Counter, do float the vote link. I suppose it's been floated.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, it is.
okay. Okay. So the link has been floated. Please, everyone vote. Now I would like to hand back the charge to Mr. President DTM Talha. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hiba Raees Khan. While the voting is being completed, I will invite our valued guests today to share their feedback about the meeting. First, my guest, Razia Anam, would you like to share your feedback about today's meeting? Yes, Razia, are you there? Okay, yes, Sufyan Heather, would you like to share your feedback about the meeting?
Yeah, I will surely sure. It was a good experience mine. I was a part of that this club in the past pre-COVID, but after that I make my mind to join again this beautiful gathering. So it was a good session overall. And main thing which I liked so much is that the way you guys break your sessions in a small events, and everything is accountable, like a minutes, like speakers, everything. So that's wonderful. That's my feedback for this session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guest Sufyan, and we look forward to having you as our member very soon. Guest Razia, please share your thoughts about the meeting.
Yes, it was a good meeting, and actually I learned a lot of things, how to speak in a limited time and how to use the words. I think it's a very good thing. You have to evaluate your words, your speaking power. You have to communicate the right things at a limited time. It's a very good opportunity to speak at such platform, to evaluate yourself, to listen more. So I think it's a good platform to improve yourself.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And once again, your speech was thoroughly impressive today, although it went over time. But we look forward to having you in our club and learning from you quite a lot. Next, we have our valued guest from across the border, DTM Raghu. DTM Raghu, please share your thoughts about the meeting.
I have one doha from Kabir Das ji. पोथी पढ़ पढ़ जगमुआ पंडित बयान कोई दाई अक्षर प्रेम के पढ़े सो पंडित होए. This means that no education makes a man perfect. If the man can read, I'm not going to be a male chauvinist, I will say any person, whether it's male or female, they can become the best if they can sympathize with others or empathize, and they read the two words of the love. That is what matters in entire universe. The language of love is common across the animals and humans. Let's spread that love and empathy across the borders, leaving the politics for just for the politicians. And this club always had that harmony and always been a learning hub. And I wish to attend more and more meetings, and I wish the club all the best. It is very rare scenario that you see a district director playing a presiding officer for a club at the same time doing both roles. Very good. I love you, DTM Talaha. Is the way that you are always down to earth and you are always approachable. Same time, you all are working towards making your club successful, because I see people, once they go to the area director and different roles, they forget about their club. They don't even care. But being a district director, you're working towards the benefit of your club. You are great. I mean, you are an example, leading by example. I'm sure you are there to make more leaders. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, DTM Raghu. That's a very interesting observation. Actually, we are a territorial council right now, so we are not as big as the full-fledged districts are. So that leaves a little bit of a space for this. But my personal belief is that it always pays to be in a leadership position in a club, even when you are in a district leadership position, because it gives you first-hand information about what's happening on the ground. And it keeps you in touch with individual members. And I solidly believe that it all begins and ends at club level. For no matter how big a district, any district is, it's always about individual members, it's always about clubs. And I'm not alone. We have our division director as our counter today. She's our immediate past president. We have our admin manager as VP education, and timer and vote counter. So we have our immediate past admin manager as our table topics evaluator. So we are connected like that, and some of that is actually a function of being a smallish territorial council right now. We believe that this sort of link is very, very important if we are to progress to a full-fledged district with the same harmony and same connection with each other that we have right now. So thank you so much, TTM Raghu. And it was a privilege to have you and have you deliver your project today. So, now on to the results. Now, the best prepared speaker goes to someone who delivered a speech under very challenging circumstances and somehow won. I personally found his delivery to be one of his best today. I don't know for what reason. I believe the pressure of his circumstances actually allowed him to play more with his voice modulation and facial expression. So congratulations, Toastmaster Latif. You are the best prepared speaker for today. Best speech evaluator is my mentor, Toastmaster Najib. Toastmaster Najib, I believe you schooled everyone in the art of evaluation. Thank you so much for evaluating my active listening project and for attending the meeting. Our best table topic speaker is our guest, Sufyan Haider. Guest Sufyan Haider, congratulations. You have made a mark in your first appearance. And our best facilitator is Toastmaster Azhar Khan, our listener for the day. So congratulations, Toastmaster Azhar Khan. Your dream of winning a certificate has finally come to fruition, and it's not easy. And best Big Four. Okay, now that's unfair actually, but okay. Best Big Four actually goes to, once again, Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali, who is the general evaluator for today. And there's one more award that we have, which is the Critics' Choice Best Speaker. And we have a secret critic who evaluates all the speeches according to the International Speech Contest ballot. And today, our Critics' Choice Best Speaker is DTM Raghu. So congratulations, DTM Raghu, for conquering, if not the hearts of the audience, at least the International Speech Contest ballots. Amazing job. So thank you so much, everyone. And before I sign off, I would call upon our VP Education if he has any announcements or any notifications to make to the audience.
Our next meeting is on next Wednesday, so it will be online once again because the situation is not clear up till now. All you are requested to please respond to my Google form. Otherwise, it will make a big trouble for me. So everyone, please, if you are interested in delivering your project, so let me know. We have all slots are open for all the speakers. So everyone is invited. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Don't you also want to mention 3 combined meetings that are coming up?
Yes. We also have in next month, we will be having 3 combined meetings, one with MI Speak, second one with, what was the name of that club, Toastmaster Tanha?
Wait. Yeah, just give me a second.
And the third one is with Kolkata Toastmasters Club. So,
yeah, one is Elite Toastmasters Club, Kolkata, right? And the second one is Pimpri Toastmasters Club, Pune. And the third one is Me Speak Toastmasters Club, Canada. So please announce the dates for the meetings also so that people have an idea.
So I will be announced, the first one will be on 21st of August. The second one will be on 29th of August. And the last one will be on 4th of September. So those who are interested to do their DTM project, it's a good chance. It's a great opportunity to jump in, grab this opportunity and become the DTM.
Thank you so much, VP Education. So in case you were wondering, anyone who has a project management project or a team management project or a DTM project in their pathway coming up, they can opt to manage these combined meetings for us. Of course, the XCOM will be managing the meeting, but there needs to be one central person or yes, or high performance leadership. Thank you, DTM Ravi. So just like one of the meetings was managed by our Toastmaster Pariam and the another was managed by Toastmaster Rusa. If it helps if there's a single manager for every meeting and it's preferably not one of the XCOM, or if they are one of the XCOM members, then they also have a team around them. It's good to have a separate management team for a combined meeting other than the XCOM. So with that, I'm stopping the recording now, and